Hello everyone, Luke here. Welcome to my latest MyTeam video, round 4 of season 2. Around the Shanghai International Circuit, it is the Chinese Grand Prix. Last time out in Vietnam, it was a great result for the team. I finished in 6th place and get a fastest lap. But look at that, Nick managed to score his first point for the team. So what that means is I'm 5th in the Drivers' Championship on 28 points. The team's also 5th in the Constructors. Nick is 15th, but he does have that 1 point now. So hopefully we'll start to see a bit more from him as the season goes on and he can be regularly challenging for points. But let's see how we do in Shanghai. This is normally a track I enjoy, so hopefully it can be another good result for us. Let's get a good run in then in this qualifying session. Again, I don't want to be in the top 10. I want to be just outside the top 10 if possible. China, really one of those circuits where the alternate strategy is extremely powerful. So starting 11th, 12th, 13th like we did in Vietnam even would be absolutely ideal and would put us in a good performance for the race. You can see it's overcast now. It's forecast to be overcast tomorrow as well, so the tyres might last slightly longer. And there's even the threat of rain towards the end of the race, just to spice the strategies up ever so slightly and keep us on our toes. So it'll be interesting to see how we do if we do get some rain in the Chinese Grand Prix. This middle sector I absolutely hate in most cars. In this one it's just the same. I really seem to struggle through there. You can see we're a long way down the order at the moment, so hopefully we can boost our way up. This long right-hander to get a good exit as you head onto the main straight, and that's another area where we seem to be lacking. I looked at our performance compared to the rest of the Mercedes engine teams. We do seem to be struggling with powertrain performance, so we have got a turbocharger upgrade coming in a few races time, which hopefully might boost us up. We're slower in a straight line than all the Mercedes engine teams, which is not ideal whatsoever. Only one corner to go, full commitment, full send over the curb. Not the cleanest way to go through that corner. Only 16th on the grid. It's going to be a bit of a struggle from there. Really, the way practice went, I'd have expected quite a bit better, but that'll have to do.
Qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top 3. Bottas, Hamilton and Alexander Albon. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
We're just behind Kevin Magnussen, and then there's a long gap to the rest of the midfield. We did beat Nick, who could only manage 18th, so it looks like our car just struggles for performance around here for some reason. As I said though, the race is a different thing. That alternate strategy works well for us, and if we get any rain, hopefully we'll be in a position to benefit.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Perez, Daniel Ricciardo, and Verstappen, Vettel, Ocon, Leclerc, and Carlos Sainz. Norris, Gasly, Daniel Kvyat, and Stroll. Magnussen, the owner-driver, Nick de Vries, and Antonio Giovinazzi. Russell, Latifi, Grosjean, they've taken a grid penalty, and Dorian Boccolacci. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Let's get the race underway then. We're going for a one-stop strategy. Ideally, hard to medium tyres, but as you can see, there is potential for some rain at the end of the race, so that could easily change on the fly, starting a lot lower down the grid than I would ideally like. Hopefully we'll be finishing in the points though. On the way again, not a bad initial getaway. I just seem to get too much wheel spin on the second part of the start. Now hoping I don't get squashed in here on the inside as I try and see how many cars I can go. Squeeze my way down. Not got the grip to really plant the throttle down on the exit there. And we haven't lost any places, we haven't gained any. Somehow after all that chaos, we haven't really changed our position. We're going to see if we can now sneak our way past Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. He's got the extra grip on the exit though, on those medium tyres. and I just have to stay back for now. Nick thinking about a move down the inside and then all the way around the outside. If I do start holding him up too much, I might just let him go and accept that at this point in the race he is the faster of us two.
We've held position on lap 1. That's not great, but it's not terrible. Stay focused.
I've gone a bit deep there, and this might just give Nick the chance that he needs on this next straight. I've already dropped a second behind Magnussen. I was ahead of Stroll going through turn 2, and I'm now 1.5 seconds ahead of him. Hopefully though I've got some decent straight line speed, a bit like what we had in Vietnam, and I'm able to use that to just get away. So that could get very interesting when the race starts to rain, when the track gets a bit wetter. Could be very difficult indeed. But as we come towards the end of our first lap here then in China, still a long way to go. Somehow at the end of that first lap, held position. Definitely the closest I've been to Magnussen. Am I just a bit too far back though to get the move done? He's having to go defensive, so I'm going to try it the long way round on the brakes here into the hairpin. Somehow he's still hanging on, he's still there. He's still hanging on, but I've got the inside line there for the final corner. I get the move done. Already, soft-tyred runners are coming into the pits. That now bumps us up into 11th position. It looks like Nick has followed us through on Kevin as well. He's still battling with the Haas behind, but we are up into 11th. Been a bit of a quiet start to the race. You can see Stroll and Kvyat have got away, and I'm a bit unsure on when to come in on these hard tyres. A lot could depend on when the rain is forecast. Bottas out of the race. He was just starting to work his way through the traffic as well, so I wonder if he's made contact with one of those guys who's staying out a bit longer. I know it looks as though Nick is all over the back of me, but if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't really feel like I'm under any pressure from him. I seem to be a lot faster in the straight parts of the circuit. Everyone on the softs has made their first pit stop, so we're now up into 4th place. We've only got Stroll, Kvyat and one of the McLarens, which I believe is Norris, up ahead of us. They'll also be on the mediums. It's not looking too bad at the moment. Again, when the rain comes, if the rain comes heavy enough of course, it might only rain light at the end of the race, so we might be able to get away staying on dry tyres. That might change everything. We're not looking too bad at the moment though. Hopefully though, these hards start to come into their own though, because I'm still losing a bit of time every lap to those ahead. And we take the lead of the race, more because the 3 cars ahead of us have come into the pits rather than anything else. I don't think we'll be there for long. A, because we're pitting next time round. B, because Lewis Hamilton is all over the back of me on a fresh set of hard tyres. But we're in the lead for now. Nick's did a pretty decent job of hanging on to the back of me, and we'll just have to see where I come out around the pit stop and how long it's going to be until the rain. Jeff says around 15 minutes. Still think it's probably worth me though pitting next time, going for the mediums and just seeing when it comes. Pit stop time then. Maybe our first pit stop, maybe our only pit stop. We'll have to wait and see. Was tempted to just go out a bit longer and see if I could change onto the softs, but if it didn't rain hard enough at the end of the race, I would really be struggling. So a set of medium tyres are going on.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Not the cleanest exit from the pit lane I'll ever do in my life, but we've come out in 14th place on better tyres than some of those around us. If the faster cars have to make a second pit stop before the rain comes, we're going to be in a good shot here of getting a decent result. look at that. Some of the drivers that pitted earlier on are having to make their second stops of the race. So now we're up into 11. Have we got the pace on these medium tyres to catch up to Kvyat, Stroll and a few of the others? Because I think we're going to need to, if we really want to have any chance of getting in the points. 10 laps to go. It's still saying 15 minutes until the rain comes. If that's the case, it's only going to start raining on the final lap, maybe a couple of laps before, so
Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now.
there Jeff says
gap ahead
10 to
is
15 minutes.
7.6 seconds.
We're not really catching up to Stroll or Kvyat as fast as I would like to be. A few other drivers have pitted, but they are on faster tyres and they're in a faster car, so I'd expect them to catch me up. If it doesn't rain at all, we might just hold on for a point. If it does rain, we could probably do with it coming soon before the Ferraris and some of the other drivers catch us back up again. 5 laps to go. I'm still about 7 seconds off the cars in front. To be fair, Nick has done an absolutely fantastic job on keeping that Ferrari of Charles Leclerc behind him. Leclerc's only just got through after being stuck behind him for a few laps, so hopefully I should now be able to hold off the Ferrari and hopefully he won't be able to catch me up and put me under any pressure in the final few laps. And it's still dry, so looks
Okay,
like...
you don't think we're far away from some rain? I'll keep you updated as the conditions change.
Looks like it might be slick towards the end of this race then, because I can't see it raining hard enough to make the intermediates worthwhile. It's definitely raining. Definitely raining. 3 and a bit laps to go. Unless we get a monsoon, it's not really going to have any effect on this race, and even if it does have an effect, everyone will be coming into the pits and I'm too far on my own to gain from it, so just need to be
careful on those slicks. These conditions are making the line a bit greasy, but we're still nowhere near the changeover point.
Like Jeff said, we're nowhere near the changeover because I'm still only about a second slower than my fastest lap time. So just need to be careful as the tyres wear down, but this shouldn't really have an effect on the race.
This is your final lap of the race.
Final lap of the race, I've got no grip whatsoever. I said this rain wouldn't have an impact. My last lap was 2 minutes. That is how much I'm struggling. Leclerc's caught up about 3 seconds in the final couple of sectors alone. There's been a spinner somewhere, I think. I don't know whether that's Leclerc having a slight moment somewhere. I think thankfully for me, it might have been, and that might just keep me safe for the rest of this race. My pace has just dropped off a cliff in these wet conditions, but
Okay, the gap behind is 6.5 seconds.
now that Leclerc's had a big moment, I can probably relax a bit more and just bring it home. What you don't want to be on in these conditions is really old medium tyres that have probably got no tread on them whatsoever. I mean, Leclerc's are fresher than mine, so that is why he's not doing too bad. Bit of a lonely race, it's fair to say. Bit of a lonely race where not a lot happened until this rain shower came, and I'm not getting that car stopped at all in time for that corner. Nothing really happened in this race. Hamilton takes the victory. We might though get both of our cars in the points once again. Let's be very gentle on the throttle as we head down towards the hairpin. This is tricky. This is very tricky. I think that's the best way of putting it. Maybe if someone makes a mistake, we might get our way even further forward. But as you can see, I'm taking no chances whatsoever at the end of this race. I do not want to throw it away now. Not being the most interested of racers, but I'm going to come home in 8th, and Nick is going to come home in 10th. Another double points finish for the team.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And that's what I get for saying, oh, I can't see the rain having any effect on that race. It got very slidey very quickly. I get the driver of the day once again as my AI car struggles to keep it on track.
It's a performance.
Mercedes wins once again. I say with no sense of surprise whatsoever. But yeah, 8th position for me, 10th position for Nick. If that race had been a couple of laps longer, I think most of the field would have come in for the intermediate tyres. Would have made complete sense. Hamilton, Albon and Perez
who take top spot.
on the podium. I'm guessing Verstappen and Stroll might have been pretty far up there as well.
So
but we got 5 points between us.
After an incredible performance, Lewis Hamilton secures the top spot in the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula 1.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, Ants, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Not too surprised to see us drop to 5th in the Constructors. Racing Point have got a far superior car to us, so probably expect over the season them to finish in 3rd place. Be nice if we could beat AlphaTauri, who I think did pull away from us today. You can see we've dropped to 7th in the Drivers' Championship. Perez and Kvyat outscoring us. Look how close it is. We're only 9 points off Valtteri Bottas, and he's the reigning champion. I finished 8th. Nick finished in 10th place. I beat Vettel, my rival, which is always a nice little bonus as we try and bump that rivalry up. We keep scoring points now, which is good, and Nick's starting to pick up a few as well. Hopefully as the car improves, we will push our way forward, because I wanted consistent podiums throughout this season, and it looks though we've just not quite got the pace to get there. We haven't actually got any questions, which makes a change. As you can see, we're now 21-15 ahead in the rivalry with only 3 races to go. That should be fairly straightforward for us. We're nearly halfway to Team Acclaim level 17. I think when we get to 20 we'll get ourselves a new sponsor, so still a long way to go for that. And we reached all of the team objectives, so a nice little boost to the cash, and that is what we're going to need to do now. Make all the departments of the team better so we can unlock some more upgrades and we can pick the pace up, because we seem to have slipped back, I think it's fair to say, into the midfield a bit more. And as the season goes on, if we're not careful, we could end up slipping back even further. But that is it for a Chinese Grand Prix that didn't really promise a lot after qualifying. To be honest, sort of really didn't deliver a lot. Not too much action after lap 1. The only car I can remember overtaking is Magnussen in the DRS, and apart from, I think, Hamilton after his first pit stop, I can't remember being overtaken by anyone after lap 1. So apologies for what was a bit of a lonely strategic race. We do get them every now and then. Dutch Grand Prix next time out. Hopefully we'll have a better job that time around, and who knows, maybe both of us will be able to get into the points again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you then.